Now, last but not least is the Sylvera buyer directory. One of the pieces of market data that Sylvera has an extensive data set on as well are retirements. So retirements are a little bit of a lagging indicator, let's say, right? But it is a key indicator of who is interested in purchasing what in the market. So if I click into these demand trends here, the buyer directory gives you the retirement trends for over 39,000 different companies, different retirees in the carbon market space. And going into this demand trends piece, splitting out by the buyer industry, by the project type, you can get insight into who is retiring what and who the top retirees are in your space. So let's say you hold supply of an ARR project, getting a sense of who have historically the top retirees of ARR projects been, who are the top industries that are retiring this project type, and who might it make sense to reach out to, right, as you think about finding buyers and finding demand in this space. The other piece you may have noticed is this Connect to Supply button. So this Connect to Supply button is connects you to a tool called Connect to Supply that Sylvera makes available to buyers and sellers. And a buyer who comes to this project and feels it's a good quality project and may be interested in moving forward with a procurement there can click on this Connect to Supply button, put a request out to our network of suppliers, developers, intermediaries, brokers, and get feedback on volumes and prices that may be available, that people may be holding. We do not take a fee for this service. This is really a matchmaking service to really help buyers get that last mile in finding and then being able to actually procure and connect to supply on these projects. A buyer can also put out a more general RFP of projects that meet their criteria. I won't click through all of this, but they can request certain project types, they can request certain vintages, they can request certain ratings, and they can send out a sort of mini RFP to our network of suppliers in order to be able to procure projects that meet their criteria. Now, on the sales side, on the seller side, right, as a developer or as an intermediary, you'll be able to see these requests flow in through this Connect to Supply sell side tool. And as these requests flow in, if you're holding supply that meets these criteria that buyers are putting out into the network, you'll be able to respond to those requests. And again, we don't take a fee on that. If there's a match, if the buyer is interested, you'll be put in touch with them. That can occur either via expansive or bilaterally, and you can sort of take that relationship forwards.